What is up, y'all boys? It is currently 8:56 in the morning, on December 20th, and basically I'll just be going over price action so far, what we have for this morning. So essentially, we created these lows here on the 1 hour, and like I said yesterday, I was thinking we're gonna get some sort of retracement into this fair value gap. It's a 4 hour fair value gap right here. And so I also marked up these 4 hour and 1 hour lows. So we swept this liquidity right here. However, if you were to want to take a play off of this sweep, I feel like it would have already been too late. I mean, honestly, I think it would have been more of a retracement play, like to equilibrium right here as I marked it out. And so, I mean, we'll see what happens. I honestly don't know what will happen for the day. Obviously, we're down 179, you know, before the New York Stock Exchange open. But if we can get a reaction off of this equilibrium, we tapped into, hold up. We have a breaker right here. We tapped into this breaker, and then we also have a fair value gap that we tapped into. So I'm thinking this is a pretty strong area for price to, enter and then retrace back down, hopefully to one of these draws on liquidity right here, and then enter a long play. That would be my ideal setup. However, we still have these two main draws on liquidity off the 1 hour that I'm concerned about. And then on the 15-minute, there's really nothing much that I'm looking at right now. I mean, there's really this price action right here. It's just not the most volume. And so I don't know if I'd be willing to take draws on liquidity off of something like, this. Even though this is, something, I guess we could. But however, I do still think that these are our best options, right? You have liquidity right here, However, liquidity that we're looking at has to be above this level right here. It can't be down here because we already swept that right here. So we can be looking at, draws on liquidity right here and right here. So those are my main two for right now that I'm looking at. Obviously, price is kind of pumping to the upside right here. I don't know if we'll end up getting a retracement to the downside. Maybe we'll just be tapping into this 15-minute imbalance and then getting a reaction to the downside. But yeah, that's really it for me right now. Obviously, I'll be still looking for SMTs, and I think we're gonna be tapping into this. But overall, boys, we're bearish for the day. We're bearish. Price is bearish. So we broke structure to the downside. We have not broken structure back to the upside. On the 1 hour, we're bearish, right? We're bearish. And so this price moving upwards could simply just be like a 4 hour retracement. We could just be getting a little bit of a push up, but we're still bearish on the 1 hour. And so we're bearish on pretty much every single time frame. But no, I don't always like to take my bias off of that necessarily. But it does give us a pretty good idea of where price might want to end up going for the day. And so, yeah, of course, we're bullish on the 15-minute, but again, that could just be a 1 hour retrace. So we could be coming up here and then coming back down. However, I'm not neglecting the fact that price might come down to one of these lows right here, one of these lows, and then get a reaction to the upside. The only thing would be, right, if we were to come down to this drawn liquidity, I honestly would not want to. I would not want to see us closing below this fair value gap. I would only want to see us get like a wick to the downside right here on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, because then in that case, this whole confluence is invalidated. The whole idea behind this was that we come down and that we get a reaction off of this. This is a retracement confluence. So it'd still be valid if we don't close below it. If we do, it might be bearish, honestly. So, but we'll see what market open decides to do. I basically gave you guys my idea of what I think a price, an idea of what I'd be willing to do if price goes in either direction. So, I'll catch you guys up around 9:30, or whenever I'm looking at the charts again. I'll probably go take a shower. And y'all boys, we are pumping down, bro. We are. If this candle closes like it is, we'll form a BPR right here. Might see a retrace. I don't know, but yeah, boys, we are pumping down. But essentially, this was it breaker was off the 1 hour, and we did not close above it. We literally just wicked, So, I mean, I really didn't want us. I didn't want to see us fill in this imbalance right here on this candle. I wanted to see this candle close in about 8 minutes, so then we can get confirmed retracement into a fair value gap on the 1 hour, and then equilibrium 1 hour, and then 15-minute fair value gap also. So yeah, I mean that's really what I want to see. I want to see is push down. I actually think there was so also a 5-minute fair value gap right here. So I'm still just waiting. Yeah, so we formed, or no. Yeah, I guess we just have to wait here to see what happens here. Might get a retracement up here, continue downwards into this area, draw liquidity, and then equilibrium, fair value gap. Yeah. We'll just have to wait though. All right, boys, we ended up taking a losing trade today. And it was honestly a stupid mistake. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just that it was a stupid mistake. I just kind of went against my bias, right? Like, I had said, all right, bro, I want to wait for us to retrace into, well, previously it was, if we go on the 15-minute, let's go on the fucking 5-minute. Previously, it was like this equilibrium was like down to like here, right? So from here, I kind of wanted price. Really, it started off down here, wanting price to come down here, but then we saw a push up, and so I'm like, all right, it's fine. And so I was still waiting, and I kind of wanted price to retrace into here, but we didn't really reach the equilibrium. We didn't really come well within this fair value gap here. We didn't really hit our confluences that we wanted to hit, correct? So, however, I saw we got a upwards movement to this draw on liquidity that I had marked out already. I think it was like a 1 hour draw. This was like a 1 hour draw on liquidity. So we came to this level, we sort of swept it, and then so we're up here. See this push up, and so I wait, or honestly it was, so we're up here, and then we get selling pressure from this drawn liquidity down to here, and then we get our 5-minute retracement to the upside, and then we wait for a 1-minute break of structure to the downside, which I entered off of. And I know you guys are probably wondering, well, that's basically your confluence, Yes. However, you can't just take it off of that. You have to make sure that there isn't something else out there that's gonna fucking go against you, which there was, and I didn't look for it, which was an SMT. I realized I made the mistake after I got stopped out. So if you want to scale, yeah, so we got a 5-minute SMT right here. You can call it a 1 minute, whatever, right? Same thing. We can scale it onto the 1 minute here. We have these lows down here connected to these lows, and then we have these lows connected to these lows. So we formed this SMT before I even entered my trade. So if I were to have realized that I had a bullish SMT with the NASDAQ being the lagging index, and then we're pushing all the way up here, and I decide to enter short, that's honestly the most stupid thing you could ever do. That's the most stupid thing, bro. And so I say that, honestly, this would have been a good trade to enter off of this SMT. Right? Like, dude, if we want to call this buying pressure or whatever, and then we want to call this a retracement, and then we want to call this a break of structure, or if we want to call this whole 15-minute upwards movement and then this retracement and then break of structure, like, bro, we're probably going to be targeting, we would have targeted this liquidity here, bro. Probably. But, dude, like, imagine, like, risk to reward on this. This would have been great. This would have been a great play to take it off of, like, it's my pressure. And then at 10 a.m., we look for a break of structure to the upside. So at 10 a.m., literally right here, bro, break of structure to the upside. If we were to have entered right here, now obviously this play hasn't finished forming, but like, I think we will, honestly. Yeah, boys, it's a bit upsetting, but like, it's all good. I know this is not the right mindset. We had 3 winning trades last week, but I know that's not the right mindset to look at it, but at the end of the day, it's whatever, right? We all take losses. We have to take losses. Every loss is a lesson learned. I know I say it a lot, but man, we'll just see what happens. At the end of the day, I'm honestly not too upset, right? If all of our confluences end up adding up, right, and we still took a loss because we were stupid, I'm fine with that, honestly. So, yeah, I would have wanted price to come down to here. It seemed like a really reasonable area for price to retrace down to. It would have been this equilibrium, sort of this draw on liquidity, retesting it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we didn't even hit it. We did come into this fair value gap, though. I mean, I guess that would have been enough, right? Like, we didn't really have to. We already swept this liquidity. We already swept it, bro. We already got buying pressure out of it. We don't necessarily need to wait for it to come back and, touch it again, right? We already swept it. So technically, we're above this price range. So there's no need necessarily. I guess that's one mistake that I made. And then, yeah, price didn't necessarily come down to this equilibrium where I wanted it to. It came down pretty close, though. And not only that, there was this fair value gap that ended up getting partially filled, right? So as soon as we see this SMT form, and, I think, and as soon as we see the fair value gap getting filled, I guess it's a pretty reasonable, area to enter. The only thing is, right, yeah, we had this 1 minute fair value gap here, but I mean, higher time frames hold higher power. And so, yeah, boys, I guess I'll just see you guys on Monday. I think next week is actually a pretty good week news-wise. I don't think there's too much going on, but yeah, boys, I'll see you guys in the next one.